Hey.
It's your girl TCHE with an accent. Why? Because it's Timi, your nightlife host, and I'm here at the African Creative Market. Yes, of course. In case you haven't heard what the African Creative Market is, well, I'm here to bring all the highlights of the last day of this amazing event that has been happening from the 17th of September 2024 all through to today, the 20th of September 2024. Now, the African Creative Market is a space for all creative in all works of life, from photography to dance to entertainment to film, name it, and you will find those set of people here at the African Creative Market. We are super excited. I'm personally excited to be here, and I cannot wait to share with you all the highlights of everything that is about to go down today, as we will be bringing it to a close. Yes, guys, don't forget that this is AFOREVO TV, and I am TCHE with an accent. Why? Because it's Timi. See you in a bit.
2,500 capacity venue to cover just the cost of the artist fee. And when the sponsor does not show up, what happens? The promoters lose money. Everything becomes non-sustainable. So this conversation, all of us in the ecosystem, we need to find a different set of pricing, a different set of rules of engagement. When we need to come together and build an ecosystem that's dependent on consumer patronage. Because there are probably only 10, 15 or 20 or 30 companies in Nigeria using music for marketing. What it means is that in the course of a year, there are only about 20 opportunities for corporate 20-30 million naira per show payment per artist. And do you know how that affects every other thing? Most of the guys driving marketing with music are talking to a younger audience. They're targeting the younger audience, right? So they're going for popular music. They're going for music right off the charts. So if you're trending, you're getting those shows from MTN, from GT Band, from Nigerian breweries and all of that. So there's no space for the jazz guy. It doesn't have the numbers to sell the SIM cards. And it has a cascading effect that destroys everything in the long run. So we need to sit down as an industry and know that our survival is at stake, and work together to ensure that MEFA and the likes work. Thank you.
You spoke a lot about the music industry in Nigeria. Can you throw in more light on that for us?
Okay, so there's a lot of light to be thrown into the music industry, but the basic thing that if we're going to find change, the basic thing we need to do, if we're going to find change in this, why am I talking like a politician? If we're going to find change in this music industry, we have to change our concept of being, who we are, our mindset. You know, it's not about the fact that a lie has been a fact for a long time. Doesn't make it the truth. A lot of people just think it's about the culture, it's about the industry. It has never been about the industry. It's about our mindset, our energy, what we think about ourselves doing the music. Do we love it, or we're doing it because of the outcome? Do you understand? We need to, because we go do the same, we go tire, we go still do one, we go do one. If the mindset of the people are not changed, we're not going anywhere. Let me talk
So, Efe, quickly before I let you go, talking about mindset and change, right? Platforms like the African Creative Market is one platform that can, help change the narrative of people towards music in Nigeria. Yeah. Are there any projects like that in view from you?
No. This is like, I'm actually happy for this collaboration already. Yeah. I am the guy that is in the lowest part where the artists are, the raw talents are. We discover them, we shine them up for these guys to come. So they need us and we need them. You understand? That's why I'm happy about the networking and the collaboration, and we really can't wait to see, the marvelous and great things that this whole union and this whole networking is actually going to bring out. Because now we need to I need to scrutinize and clean up their mindsets, ready for export, and then bring them up, and then these guys can come and pick them up from there. So the work is on everybody.
We are talking music, right? And we know that for one thing, there are a whole lot of upcoming artists, right? And it feels like the platform for them to grow is really small. For some of these people, they need like artists that are already in fame to push their brand. But what would you say to these people who are upcoming? What is your advice?
I would say that there's saturation, so push your car to where there's light. If a car breaks down in a dark place, nobody stops to help you. If you push your car to where there's light, you can get some help. So I think the focus of every artist who's coming up needs to be, how do I get to the point where I cannot be ignored? And that's on them. That's a lot of work to do. And just continue to work, continue to develop, continue to get better, and continue to work. That's my advice.
There's a whole lot of space in social media, and a whole lot of artists are, diving in and taking advantage of that. Do you think it's a good platform for people like the upcoming to be heard from this platform?
What's that? Social media?
Yeah, TikTok, Instagram.
Yeah, social media has helped get people more attention than before. Before, you needed traditional media, and not everybody can be on traditional media, radio, TV. Social media gives everybody the opportunity to build their audience. So I think that works out for everybody. So step by step. But yes, social media is a platform that someone can use to explore and build their audience.
So last question before I let you go. What are the means that people can, grow that you advise or you have put in place for this upcoming?
Well, I have the MBA for Africa Academy, which is a platform to develop business for businesses or business people for the creative industry. And I have my people working across multiple sectors of the economy, of the industry, and that's what I've done to get things working in the market. And also we're building systems with Sony Music Publishing, and that's my contribution.
So Hems, talk to us about dance. I know that you're a contemporary dancer, and I don't think it is a thing in Nigeria unless I'm not aware. But talk to us about being a contemporary dancer in Nigeria, and how is the acceptance on that part?
First off, I'd like to say I'm a movement artist, and that comprises of doing contemporary dance. I also do Afrobeat and a bunch of other things. I'm also a movement director, and movement is different from dance. I feel like dance is defined. There are lots of styles, that's hip-hop, contemporary, Afrobeat, and every other thing. What I do is just movement. I believe waving is dance. Yeah, we've nodding. I believe nodding is dancing.
I just learned a new
dance, guys. No, that's why I said I don't exactly ascribe to being a dancer as much as I ascribe to being a movement artist and movement director, because it takes away from synchronized movement to just movement. So how to use movement, and that's what I do. But yeah, to answer your question, practicing contemporary dance in Nigeria, God, it's unrelatable. In the viewpoint, in the actual physicality of it, but in relation to how it feels, yeah, people do connect to it. And I think that's exactly why I do the kind of dance that I do. If I'm able to help you feel any kind of emotion, I feel like I've succeeded. If you can watch movement and feel emotion, that's exactly what I want to be able to do. I don't know what emotion is, and some people just feel hate because they don't understand it, but that's an emotion, so they question it. And they question it because if you see something you're not interested in, you're just going to wave it away. So if they're expressing an irritation to it, it means they're trying to understand it. That's all I take it for. So that's what it is for me.
Okay, so I'm I want to believe that there are a lot of upcoming movement dancers like yourself, but they have not been able to, identify that as a dance. Is there any platform that you are, looking into creating or is already existing that, would give these people an awareness of, oh yes, you can do movement dance and not, channel it to just dance?
There are several. Thank God for the internet. Yeah, everything is out there. So if you do seek knowledge genuinely, you'll find it. As regards to physical opportunities to learn the kind of dance that I do here, they're quite stiff. There's not a lot of them, and even the ones that exist would require you to go through quite tremendous effort to get there, which is exactly what it took me to get here. I said that because I understand that a lot of young people these days don't want to have to do work. It's like, what can I do to get the fame now? What can I get to do to get the money now? It took me 4 years trying to move like this, trying to understand why I'm moving like this, to be able to do it freely. Yeah, like just move like this. Yeah. So yeah, but there are opportunities for that. For this kind of dance, it's applicable to lots of things, to fashion, to movies, to lifestyle, to creating content, a bunch of things. So it's very valuable for everyone who wants to do it, and there are lots of people practicing it on the internet. You just have to seek them out or sort them out.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, Hems. It was a pleasure. And what do you have to say to people watching?
Keep watching Hermes. Where's the ELA? There's so much coming through, and you did ask, yes, what it is that I'm doing to see this kind of the kind of things that I do. Yes, I'm working with a bunch of brands to bring soon a platform that does exactly that. Not only brings to light talents, but also helps to manage, sustain them over a while, so they can gain their own balance and then go and liberate space for themselves as well and other people. So yeah, yes, you can. So watch out for that. Watch out for that. All right, thank you.
All right.
Praiz, how are you doing? Are you good? You sure? All right, let's go. Okay, considering your diverse career in blending Afrobeat, R&B, and soul, how would you describe the current state of live music in Nigeria? That's one. And are artists being given enough opportunity to perform live?
In Nigeria, we have our challenge. And I'll say one of our challenges is appropriate venues.
Yeah.
And I see that because we have musicians who you probably might not call them A-list, B-list, C-list, but have a good following. They have their followers, but the challenge is they have no venues for people who love the music to come and enjoy it. So it's a big challenge for musicians in Nigeria. So I think if that is looked into, it will do a lot for musicians in Nigeria, because venues are very important for us to be able to communicate, to be able to connect with the people who love our music.
Thank you so much for that. But I actually feel if we provide the venues for these artists, do you think our artists are hungry enough, or they really want to do the hard work to learn actually how to perform live, or they just want to mime the song and get their money out?
To be honest, I think we have a lot of musicians who would rather prefer to perform live than to either lip sync, because a proper musician enjoys performing his music, bringing a different experience from what he created in the studio to the stage. And I personally believe there are amazing artists in Nigeria, probably who don't have the spotlight on them, so it feels like there are not enough musicians who are ready to go the extra mile to perform live. But I personally feel I know a lot of musicians who would rather perform live and create a different experience with their music to their listeners.
And thank you so much for that. Toby, my next question is for you. As a founder of Blog Party Series and co-owner of Blog Entertainment, how do you see the live music intersecting with nightlife culture in Nigeria?
That's a very good question. So you're saying, how do I see the live music intersecting with like nightlife?
Yes.
I mean, live music is already kind of like nightlife. I don't know if that makes any sense, but so by nightlife, do you mean like clubs or like what do you mean?
Clubs, nightlife, like block parties, things that you have. Clubs, even places where people just come and perform. Anything nightlife in Lagos. We know that in Lagos, nightlife is nightlife.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. So when you ask that question of how do I see live music, I feel like nightlife is the core of nightlife is actually live music, pretty much, because even with the clubs today, like loads of experiential efforts for like, you know, I would say like sectors in like alcohol or like even like beers actually would have to book like talents like, you know, Praiz himself, or even like, you know, other artists who are actually like in you know, more like secular music to actually come perform there. So I actually think like they're one and the same in my opinion, literally, if you were gonna, or like one kind of empowers the other. Yes, so I think that would be my answer to that. Yes.
Okay, so let me direct this. So for an artist sitting here, an artist watching that would want to be on your block party series, but it's not an A list or a B list or C list, but would want to perform live, will you give him that platform?
So I mean, like just generally, like with me, like my core, even like outside of like entertainment, I believe in the concept of meritocracy, and I believe like in the concept of like people who actually deserve to be on platforms, being there on platforms like. With Block Party, I mean, it's been 5 years, and we've worked with, you know, MTV, one of the, curators of this, pretty much in building, you know, that platform, which we're very thankful for. And I would say today it's been like a very serious incubation hub for like loads of talents, pretty much, to actually become who they are today. I would say like, aside maybe Shali Poppy, every other person who has been like in this B list, like what we say like list of like secular guys. I would say like, you know, with like Benson or like, you know, with Black Bones or Oxlade, like it served as the first platform for them to actually even like go on platforms like internationally. I also feel like it has become like a talent incubation hub for them. Like in fact, Victoni's first project was a Block Party, pretty much, you know, and like Victoni right now today is maybe one of the most streamed artists out of like Nigeria, even Africa today. So I mean, if you're great enough for it, of course. And we also do stuff like from time to time called like the next Block Party performer. You know, people have been a part of that and have become stuff. Even Buju was a part of that. Like Buju's popular Kano video was one of his entries for that, you know, back in the day. So I just think that like people just being on the lookout and, you know, sending stuff would be a way. I also feel like one thing with talent, I would always say is talent is not enough. Talent is not enough, and whenever you actually have like core talent, you also need to have like the administrative side that is actually connected enough to kind of like help you actually have the conversations. If Godwin here, you know, Godwin is one of the people who taught me what I know today, like, and if Godwin here was calling me about someone being on the platform, like, I will most likely trust what Godwin has to say and will say, yes, this is like a double pass. So as you're making sure like your talent is like clutch, like you also have to make sure your team is clutch, because it's like they both like support each other in terms of like helping your growth, pretty much. Yes.
Thank you so much, Obi, for that. So now we have addressed where we are in Nigeria with our live music. Let's move on to where we should be heading to. Bola, my question is for you. As the co-founder of MEFA, how do you envision creating concert venues that support performance and drive a constant year-round live music culture?
Thank you so much for that question. For us, it's really beyond building a concert venue. It is more about providing opportunities for performances, opportunities for development, artist development, and really an opportunity to grow the entire ecosystem. A couple of people have spoken earlier and have talked about different ways that artists can earn. And beyond even the artists, there is a whole army of people that come together to make that a success. So it's an entire ecosystem that we're trying to put into place. So it's really about building a new culture, you know, in Nigeria. Like the keynote Yinka said earlier, There are tons of talents that we have here, and we need to find a way to milk this and to continue to run this to our own benefit. And really that is the vision for us. We've talked about artists not being able to perform. These kind of venues will give an opportunity to get skilled or to get better at that skill, because mastery really comes with a lot of continuous performance and continuously doing the same things. So that is really the vision, and it's not just one. We intend to go around the entire country, so we're giving also opportunities to tour within the nation. We're giving opportunities to artists to be able to connect with their communities, connect with their fans, build that connection beyond social media. Social media is good, but then there's also a need to be able to connect with people in Zamfara. There's a need to be able to connect with people all around Nigeria. Then we go global from there. So really that is the vision. And I would also like to mention that in terms of developing artists, we're very well aware of the problem right now. And one of the things we've also thought about is how do we help the artists become better at their craft. And because of that, we have an incubation system embedded into what we're doing at MEFA. And that will help us train and help them develop their skills, their music skills, their stage presence, their everything that makes you a good performing artist.
Thank you so much for that. So I hear a lot about grooming the artists, and it's a culture. What about the fans? I don't know if our fans will want to be paid to watch somebody. That's a culture I don't think we have here in Nigeria. So what is that thing that you believe? What was that reason that you believe that if we decide to do this, if we decide to create MEFA, we can create the culture of fans that would want to pay tickets of 5K, 10,000 to come and watch their artists perform?
I think it already exists, but not at scale. I'm sure almost everyone here has at one time or the other paid to watch a performance. It always happens, so it already exists. It's just to scale it, and I think what really will scale that will be the quality of the performances. And that is why we are also investing in developing these artists. So we're not just building a venue and expecting that, okay, a miracle is going to happen. We're doing the hard work of, the entire pipeline. We're making sure that we're filling the gap in all of those spaces. So of course, stay tuned. We'll be making announcements as the time comes. And we're very, very, very invested in this. And I think the scale that Nigeria deserves, I think we can all collectively achieve it.
Thank you so much for that. And I hope that this comes and our certain generation can be able to pay tickets to come and watch. All right, my next question is for you, Timi Dakolo. As someone deeply connected to emotions and the spirit of your music, how do you see live music strengthening the connection between artists and the audience today in Nigeria?
Praise leave me alone. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me say it this way. Let me put it this way. Live music is like, your music is like your child. And live music is like the quality of education that you give your child. Everybody can sing. Everybody, even you that don't think you can sing. Efe, you can sing. What live music does is that it creates an atmosphere for intimacy, where you feel like you are part of the song. In your mind, you are part of the music that is being made. And I watch people say, I don't want to do live music. I can't. I'd rather play CD. But the truth is that if you compare yourself with somebody that has done it for 10 years, you can never be the same. So my 10 years and your 1 year can never be the same. And nobody, I've said it beating my chest, nobody is amazing at the beginning. Nobody in live performances. And we as musicians, we should always tell this truth that I've been here a long time. I have failed a long time. I've made mistakes in my rehearsals. Then I got it. Then I got better. Then I got better. Then I got better. And then you saw my stage. I didn't see the backstage. What you are experiencing in terms of emotionally is because I've done it repeatedly. I have failed so much. I'd really sucked. Like, I'd missed the beat, I'd missed the key, then I'd gotten it. So you are connecting with my mastery, not my failures. So if you want to start, suck. It's okay to suck at the beginning. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to stop it and say, okay, let me do this thing again. Let me do it again. But repetition, as in everything, is mastery. If you repeat something long enough, you get better at it. And then, me. So when I say, I pack my bags, I'm leaving town. You are feeling something, yeah?
Show off.
No. You are feeling it because that is what I gave you. You didn't see the things, the times that I didn't get it. You are connected because it's now me that is confidently saying this thing. So I will tell you that, just like in songwriting, which is my main place, is great songs are not written. Great songs are rewritten. It's what I gave you that you think that song is. The things that I took out, the phrases, no, let's stop this, let's put this, let's change this chord. You didn't hear it. So I will live with this one thought. Nobody is amazing at the beginning. We all sucked.
Thank you so much, Timi, for that. But I beg to differ. I was born amazing from the beginning, you know. I woke up like this. All right, my next question is to Godwin Tom. With your background in talent management and global strategy, how do you assess the current infrastructure for live music in Nigeria, and what do you think needs improvements? So what are your thoughts on what we have currently right here?
Well, how do you say this without pissing people off?
Please just say it.
The realities are, the problems are scattered across everyone. So nobody is safe from blame. The first reality is we were developing a concert culture in the last 3 years. People were putting on their own shows. I mean, I invested in a concert last year. I barely broke even. I don't want to touch it this year, right? So the concert going culture still needs to be developed. All of us that have jobs, when you wake up in the morning and you go to your office and you perform abysmally, you know that there are chances that you're going to get fired. True or false? If you continue to perform abysmally, when you're fired, it's not shocking, is it? When you have people who don't value the career that they follow and do not take their time to develop themselves. I mean, I've been since, I don't know, I met Efio Morgan in 2008 or so, or earlier. And between 2008 and now, he has stayed, and I'm saying that because he's in my line of sight. And between now and that time, he has stage managed, I don't know, hundreds of shows I've been to. And I'll tell you, and you can ask him, and you can look at his face as I'm saying this. one of his most stressful situations is that artists don't come for sound check. So the attitude towards the career that you're developing and the live music you want needs to be fixed. So that's on the talent side. On the business side, we don't have enough people who even understand what they're doing. The live industry is a subset, it's a branch of the music industry, and it creates multiple jobs. One of the reasons the live industry is important is because it gives people who you don't see when you will play the CD, your guitarist, your bassist, your backup vocals. It gives them an opportunity to earn money, but to also be seen performing the jobs that they do. So if we do not have that culture developed on the business side, identifying those people, nurturing them, and ensuring that they have the opportunity to grow, we're wasting our time. So these are some of the challenges. This is our reality. Are we making any money in the music industry? No. In the live industry? No. The reason is we do not have an industry on its own. So you look at every artist, at the end of, everybody releases music in August and September so that they can have shows in December. It's built up enough. And who do we depend on for the shows? The banks, the telcos, the end of year parties by individuals, and so on and so forth. What needs to happen for the industry to survive is we have to actually have our own gigs. We need Show Them Camp to do Palm Wine Festival. We need the chorus leader to tour. We need multiple artists engaging their audience, which brings me to what are the solutions? Because if I talk about the problems, we sleep here. On an artist side, you need to start developing your audience. It's nice to have social media, but this is your job. For an artist, social media is the place where you build your following and you take them to your shows and show them that you can give them a great time. So instead of just posting on Instagram, how about you start coming up with strategies for developing your artist, developing your artistry and showing an audience and pulling them to your events. That's the first thing. You do not have to do a 2,000 venue show. You could start with 50. A success story for us is Palm Wine Festival. The first Palm Wine Festival show was called the Palm Wine Session, and it was 50 people. The second one was at Bogobiri with 100 people. The third one was in Ilupeju with 400 people. The fourth one was with Jameson at the Railway Center. That was 1,000 people. Then Palm Wine Fest was 2,500. Now we're doing 5,000 people every year. You start by building that audience. Now, if you look at the charts, SDC is not top 10. SDC is not top 20. But SDC has a following. Now Palm Wine Fest is in Lagos, London, New York. Filled 2,000, 3,000 in New York just last month. The reality is, as an artist, you need to start building your audience. That's stage one. The business, we need more people who are informed, more people who know what they're doing. Let this thing no longer be, I am in the music industry because my brother sings. No. The same way people choose career paths, we have to start looking at where do I fit in this system. So in the live music industry, are you a stage manager? Are you a lighting guy? Are you a sound guy? Are you a performing artist? Are you a manager? Decide where you fit into this system and we can build. Now, from a corporate standpoint, we do need investments. We need the support of the government. But here's the problem. If we're not talking as a unit, the government doesn't have what to support. And we need to stop being divided, right? So collaboration is key, but collaboration is a product of value, right? If I have no value, if two of us collaborate or work together, you are helping me. We're not collaborating. Does that make sense? So if we're going to build anything, we need to start building individual value that aids our collective goal. So me at Sony Music Publishing, I need the live music industry to work. Why? Because the artists that start touring, like Timi, who signed to our publishing company, I need to start collecting Timi's performance royalties, not just when it's used, but when it's performed. So this venue, MEFA, is important to me. Why? Because if MEFA comes in, I can go and have a sit down with Ola and Yinka, and I can say, guys, please, how are you going to start collecting set lists? How are you going to start ensuring that you pay a fee for performance to the collecting societies, so that I can now go and fight the collecting societies for my money? You can see how it all connects. And the moment that value begins to happen, more jobs will be created, more opportunities will come, and more money will come. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Can you just throw in more light in case we have people who are upcoming, you know, and want to venture into music as a business, not just, you know, a career?
Well, personally, I just think, first of all, I'd like to give a big shout out to the organizers, which is the Africa Creative Market, for this platform, which I think is very important for the industry. It's also important for the creatives, you know. And I feel stuff like this would enlighten us more. And for people who want to venture into the business of music, firstly, I think I would like to advise that you have to love music first, you know, because it goes beyond just going into the business. It's different when you love a business. It's different when you love something and make it a business, you know, because there are times where it might not go the way you want it to go, you know. Sometimes you make investments and the turnovers are not like how you expect it, or it takes a longer time, you know. So personally, I just feel you have to love it before you venture into the business of music.
So you were talking about a whole lot of collaboration with venue centers. Can you throw in more light on that?
Yeah, so at the panel I was speaking about collaboration, and I think collaboration is very key to growth. I say that because I feel the beginning is very important. The beginning of anything is very important, you know. And for musicians, there are a lot of musicians who like live music, who thrive on live music, you know, but have a disadvantage, or more like a setback, because they can't afford venues, you know. And we had people like MEFA on the same panel, and they're talking about having venues that promote live music, which I feel is which is key, which is very important. You know, if we have venues like that have sound, basically, and are open to collaborating with amazing artists who probably are not really as big as maybe like the Bono Boys or the likes, you know, but have a great following, I think it's the beginning of actually good things for the industry, for live music culture, you know. So I feel collaboration between venues and creatives would go a long way in promoting the culture of live music.
Alright, so I mean, you've said literally everything, but before I let you go, what is that one word you have for upcoming artists?
Stay true to yourself. Actually, sorry, one word.
Shout out to Kafi. She created an opportunity for us to come here and, you know, relate with the audience and teach them, you know, the importance of, you know, of basically how the digital space is helping, how content creation is helping to expand the market, create revenues, and create jobs for people. So this is a very entrepreneurial platform, so to speak, and it's good just listening to them and sharing some of my life experiences and occupational experiences with them, and, you know, just basically teaching them a thing or two so that they can stay right, that their minds can stay right and stay focused. You know, so it's incredible. It's been going on for some days, and there's so much learning. A lot of people have learned so much. Today was for the dancers, it was for digital media and the impact on is how to sustain and develop the music industry.
So talking about experiences, I know that you started music way before I think I was born. So you would say that there's been like a whole lot of change digitally, right, from when you started and now. What would you say has been like that sustainability for your own brand as an artist?
Evolution, change, just keep evolving, keep evolving as the game evolves, as technology continues to evolve. keep evolving and keep learning, and never be too pig-headed to learn how things have been done. Never be too I know it all-ish, you understand, for you to figure out when things are tipping in another direction. So it's just evolution, but ultimately it's been God giving you the power to evolve as well, and the gift, to evolve. I'm going to be here for a long time, so yeah.